We're moving to this point where the irresistible force, the vibrational change, is coming face to face with what thinks is the immovable object, that the control system, but ain't. And we're starting to look each other in the eye, and we're gonna see more and more of this. The control system is going to come under more and more challenge, more and more pressure, more and more questioning as we move through this period. In the new energy, the new information, because in this epoch becomes, it's more and more impacting upon human society and the human perception which we live in. There is a change. It's an ocean of energy that we are living in and decoding. It is a new flow. It's getting faster. And we have a choice here of getting on the edge of airbed, of lying and the enjoying of the adventure and our perception that going to expand, and not to realize that I never seen that before. But all these things are happening, and it's going in an amazing in the world. We can try to hold the status quo, and at the time that energy status quo is changing, is in the information, the status is called changing. And if we do have to be using more and more energy just to stand still and hold on to the life, and we think it should be, and eventually be flow, like the flow will be like symbolic, like a quick fast, and people are quickening, and it's quickening vibration, and that it's going to do it's gonna demonize the control system and wash it away as we are affected. More and more people is happening to them now. Never mind, it's going to, but we're gonna beat up and become aware of many of the levels of ourselves, many of our levels of our reality, where we can access insights and inspiration and creativity, that intuitive knowing, and the world in our heads changing as a result, as those people are waking up. The control system, call it Illuminati, call it whatever. Maybe you'll have a control system in your own house. It's all the same. Small circle, bigger, 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 bigger. But when you break the great one, those one are nothing in the consciousness of the realm of awareness. And process in this where is connected to wider awareness that we've seen this control system is not connected to. And now we're going to see the reverse as we awaken and return to the true nature of a human being. We're moving further in the future, and we'll be as a human being, as the being in the world today, to recognize how possible that's possible to do that. There's nothing called impossible in the matter of fact of the expand of your consciousness and the 5 sense body mind level. And this control system is being dismantled vibrationally through the information, and it is going to vanish, to perish. I'm telling you, this wonderful period we are in now, where humanity is standing up more and more, stretching itself and breaking the chains that has held us in servitude all this time. We're not their slaves, and we're not nobody's slave. What a wonderful time to be alive and free and to experience the change of what's coming in the new aura age. Whoever want to stay in the old timeline, leave him. In the shorter time it's beginning in the control system and concern. They are concerned too much. Everything is upheld, hold high within us. That, as Einstein said, you cannot solve problems with the same level of consciousness that created them. And through this epoch of the suppression that we have been through in this control system, and we had the level of consciousness that it's created the problems, and then other people may have come in and from the same level of consciousness, and you called another political party or whatever religion or another boss of the company, but from the same consciousness, you will not solve the problem. It's the same thing in the bloody consciousness, and the level that we are now coming in the new aura, and where we are in a new level of consciousness is emerging. A new awareness is, instead of saying that it's impossible to solve this problem, no. Most of them are manufactured problems, and the rest are caused by ignorance of reality and self. As we move into this expanded state of awareness, and what we call impossible problems to overcome will be gone. And it's not that we have to find enlightenment. We're already enlightened. We already all that is and has been and can ever be. What have we done is allowing barriers of belief system, preconceived ideas, other people's perception to keep your vibration connecting to that infinity that we are already are. And that means breaking the spell, bringing the spell on the human psyche. And that's what it is, a spell that has been casted upon the human psyche to keep us in hypnotic trance. So we forget the true genius, magnificence of who we are. And these are the people, most of them unknowingly, who have cast the spell, have middlemen and women that which are truly casting the spell in the background, the programmers of our perception. So the first step of freedom is to disconnect ourselves from the perception manipulation that be undergone, to disconnect ourselves from this matrix of control, and fundamentally to disconnect ourselves from the massive influence that the reptilian brain have in human behavior, perception, and reality. What is the importance of disconnecting yourself from the reptilian brain and the human manipulators? This is the advantage of it. When you go to a state of fear and the survival mode of the rescue response of reptilian brain, it keeps us in insecurity. In the range, it's always like it's danger. So when we go in the reptilian brain, in the level of the perception of a reality reading, then we will go in a state of insecurity, where the reptilian brain is anxiety, the anxiety of people that they have. You can feel anxiety and you have any idea why do I not feeling anxiety? Why I'm feeling anxious? Because it's talking to us all the time. And that reptilian brain is always anxious for us again and looking in this always problem, always finding, always danger to find. That whole mechanism of the whole system. And therefore, when we go to the reptilian brain state of reality, we are going into big time, into the control system, collective mind, but it's there to turn their mind into our mind, and so overriding the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain does not think. It does not work things out. It reacts. That's what it does. So when we fall into the behavior or responses where we are reacting to situations, not having a deep breath, not thinking it through, not thinking it calming, that disconnect us from the reptilian brain and its impact and the impact of our behavior response. So one, we have this phrase, when you get angry, count to 10. Are they playing game? I don't want to play their game. You keep getting caught in this natural response. The more you go through this experience and you take a deep breath from the situation and you don't go to the bang reaction. Oh God, what's going on? You're doing this. Take a breath. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna think this through. How can I fight it in a creative, responsive way? And now other parts of the brain start impacting on our behavior. We no longer controlled from this thing, which I mean, this is panic of the genetic version of the reptilian brain. And so more we calmly think and think how to react. Reacting with emotional imitate responses, we are disconnecting from that impact on our behavior. Because the reptilian brain, which is a microchip, through the mind of the control system, speaks to us and creates a monopoly, which this society goes around and around and around and around as we react and respond incredibly predictable ways. It's amazing how you can go anywhere in the world, so many different cultures, backgrounds, and yet you have a situation, it might be in a bar or in a street or in wherever, and the number of 2 times you see people reacting exactly the same. And if you type data into a computer and then to press enter, you know how it's gonna react. And I call them the press enter people. Trick! Go take vaccine, enter. And it's an example, the actor of the reaction, because we fall so much into the computer body, computer level of perception. We do the same sometimes. By situation emerges in this country or that country, and bingo, reaction is the same. Why? Because consciousness is involved in data and situation. Computer reacts, press enter, and that's why human responses are so predictable. When you open to consciousness, it becomes unpredictable. Evil, it have the same pattern, the same way, the same people, the same spirits, the same pattern. There's no creativity than the level of what they know. And they don't get it. Anyway, the realm of all possibilities are not predictable. That's why they can't predict us. That's why they sit on the edge of their seats waiting what we're gonna say now. Their fears of what they don't want us to say is the last thing we're gonna say. But we're gonna push those buttons. Yes, and we see how the reptilian brain will react. And watch when you talk to someone with a preconceived idea or a certain belief. They literally don't hear what you say. If they have a certain belief, they don't hear what you say. You will find them a man and a woman that are having a relationship of problems, and they both have big time preconceived ideas about each other. In other words, programmed perceptions. What they did then was get them to talk to each other while they filmed them. And then they took away and they asked both of them, what did the other one say? And in what tone did they say it? They then played the original chat back to both of them, and they were shocked to see that how they received what the other one said and how they said it is often nothing like actually being said. And say, I never said that. That's why you see people, I never said that. Yes, you did. But if you put the film on them, that reptilian brain, when they were fighting and doing and saying, blah, 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 I never said that. There's no consciousness. That mind is not listening or hearing. That mind is not listening or hearing. Insecurity, it's traumas. Low vibrational, blocked mind, emotional, blasting each other. But none of them is receiving the other. This is what's called as a reptilian brain. This is the agenda, to make everyone react out of that reptilian brain. Did you get it when we say, don't mention the reptiles?